Well, only a few weeks now until university and college students move into their dorms.
And this morning, Jee-Yun Lee is with interior designer and regular artist, friend of the show, Steven Sabados, getting tips on how to use color to turn your dorm room from drab to fab. Good morning, G.
Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Nick. And that's right. The kids are about to head back to school, and this is a great way to bring color to your dorm, but there's actually a lot of science behind color as well. So joining me now is interior designer and artist, Steven Sabados. Hi.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I want to talk about not necessarily maybe what to bring to your dorm, but really think about it in a different way of what color. Okay.
And color can have a huge impact on you.
Color has a massive impact. You think all the companies in the world use color first to literally subjectively either make us buy more. We know McDonald's, red and yellow, right? Or maybe calm us down. That's why you'll never see an operating room or a hospital room in orange or yellow. You know what I mean? Cool, pale colors are going to calm us down. So think of that. So if it's not necessarily maybe a dorm color, maybe if you're decorating your kid's room. Okay. Right? So we broke it up into two things, because color can influence our moods, emotions, and can even affect our motivation. Okay. Which is really interesting. So warm colors are going to boost our mood and give us energy. And red is associated with passion, energy, and at times even aggression. So think of that. So orange is associated with enthusiasm, creativity, and playfulness, as I'm wearing orange. Yes. And yellow is associated with happiness, optimism, and uplifting.
That makes sense.
So if you're thinking, okay, so if you're going to decorate in this color scheme, is this suitable for your child and their emotional state?
Yeah, so for example, if you have a child that maybe gets distracted easily, would a bright color like this work?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, because so these warm colors here can sometimes offer overstimulation and even anxiety. Okay, so if you do have a child that you know will maybe get overstimulated by these colors, just think of color subjectively before you go and do the purchases. One thing, can I just say, when I saw this, I thought of you. It's a hamper. Yes. That's a cherry. Cherries are super hot and on trend right now. But I thought if your kids aren't going to use a hamper, they're going to throw their clothes on the floor, maybe get them something fun to put them in.
That's brilliant.
Right?
Brilliant.
I just think this is awesome. So we have the warm colors here. So again, let's go to the opposite side. And let's go to the cool colors. Right. Okay, so here we have these colors. So cool colors are going to promote calmness and relaxation. Okay, so blue is associated with calmness, serenity, and relaxation.
That makes
blue.
sense.
I absolutely love blue. Green is associated with nature, growth, and tranquility. Okay, we have that. And then purple is associated with creativity, luxury, and mystery.
Purple is associated with luxury?
So here's a fun fact. So purple, back in the day, in the Elizabethan day even, purple was a very, very hard color to get into fabrics, to create into fabrics, I should say. So that's why you always see kings and queens, always their robes were always in purple velvet, because it was so expensive, it was just for the elite.
I had no idea.
And think of something like this. Yes. We know this chocolate bar, we know that this is associated with luxury. That's why it's this color purple, and that's why this purple is actually even trademarked. So, which is very interesting. So they're already selling to you before you even go there. So we have that. So choose the colors that are going to have a positive impact on your child. Yeah. Lastly, I want to talk about greenery, plants. Okay, so studies show that plants, both real and artificial, can significantly impact mood, productivity, and overall well-being.
Really?
Just by looking at it. Okay. Now, how many kids are going to take care of real plants?
No, even some adults like myself. This will die in a month at my house.
I was going to say, even a succulent just gets something that's going to last. Okay, so so again, even if we're just looking at, if we're not the real plants, we can look at artificial plants, and I like this sort of living wall, because that will give us that positivity that we need, and they are completely
fake, so you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about anything, watering, you name it, but they're going to give you the benefits.
Love it. All right, so you definitely want to stick around for our next segment, because Steven is going to teach us how to make an artificial wall.
And a few other DIYs.
Oh, like this and this, okay? So stick around, more great ideas with Steven Sabados in a moment. Wouldn't it be fabulous to have designer and artist Steven Sabados come into your dorm and totally deck it out? That would be a dream come true for anybody, right?
Yeah.
But he joins me now with some great ideas. So we first talked about color and the importance of that. Now we're gonna do a really cool do-it-yourself project.
Just some really fun things, yeah. So we're talking about this, our living wall, right? Again, we know the positive influences that plants are gonna make, even if they're artificial. And this, I thought, is a twofer because number one, it's super easy to make, and it's going to give us a big impact on a wall. Which in dorms, you always want to fill up as much wall space as you can. Yeah, and if you can't paint it, at least we're going to do this. So, quick little shelf, super inexpensive, and then I got these little pots.
Which are not expensive at all.
59 cents.
Stop.
Yeah. So you can paint them black, you can paint them any color you want, just with acrylic paint. So I'm gonna get you, we're just gonna put some glue on the bottom here.
Okay.
If you wanna push that down. Right? Okay. And then we just have these, the dry oasis.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put some hot glue on the bottom of this. And if you wanna squeeze that, push that down as well. And then go to literally any place. Look, I got hot glue everywhere.
Yeah.
Dollar store, things, you name it, whatever. Get a whole bunch, and what you want is different type of greenery. So we're gonna fill all the pots here.
Yes.
So I'll hold it up, and then you just start poking them in. And
you want different texture, different lengths?
Textures, different lengths. And then I got a few of these little guys you're just gonna stick on the top here, so they're gonna poke up. And then just keep putting them in. Everywhere, literally. And if it's hung super high, you can see you don't really have to worry about what's happening down here. Or you can put some moss in there. But again, just fill it down. It is so inexpensive and so great. And again, we're gonna fill a big wall space, and it's our living wall.
And you don't have to water it?
Nothing. Well, you have to dust it every now and again.
Shoot. Okay, that makes sense.
There is some maintenance. But again, it's really fantastic. So it's gonna give us those positive benefits. Yeah. The next one, hun, is this. I want to talk about framing scarf. So you said you were just vintage shopping.
Yeah,
with
the
your
kids are really
right?
into vintage shopping.
I was at Kensington Market here in Toronto, and it was just jam-packed with all sorts of high school kids. Vintage shopping. I thought, well, this is great, so let's do something really fun. So this is just a great vintage scarf.
Right.
You can get, or maybe you have a bunch of vintage scarves or
my mom.
Cool scarves that you want.
Yeah.
You're not going to ruin them. So we're going to cut a piece of foam core or cardboard, which is going to be the same size as the frame.
Love it.
Right? We're just going to put it down wherever. And from here, hun, if you just want to fold it over, and I'm going to reach across, pardon me, and we're going to get
you just tape it.
Painter's tape, and we're just going to tape it on the back, and then pull this over, and then we're going to tape that down flat, put it here. So, and then just pop that back in the frame, and we haven't ruined our scarf. We get some really cool, interesting art that you're not going to find these colors and these things. And it's one of those things that you found.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a story. It's kind of cute.
I love it.
So super fun. I love this, yeah. Next one, I thought, okay, we've got scarves.
Yeah.
Let's do something else. And I created this one, which I think is just so great because I just love the clash of pattern. And it's just, again, the hunt is what it's all about. And even when I was hunting for these ties.
Okay.
No.
How far back does this go?
This is actually my dad's.
Stop.
Yeah. I went in his closet years ago and I took all his fantastic ties. So this was Dad. Dad, you probably remember the events that you used to wear to this.
Yes.
Chocolate brown, green, and orange. What a great combo.
It is a good combo, actually.
So this one here, I'm not going to cut up. But for the other ones, just get a whole bunch of vintage ties. Find your frame. And then what I did is you just sort of lay them out, find the pattern that you're liking.
Yes.
Because then it's going to be on the reverse, right? And then all I did was just take this. Again, this is not my dad's.
No.
So we're going to cut off the two pieces here that aren't going to show, and then just keep layering it back and forth. All I did with that was then pop this back in, tighten it up.
And then look. And it looks rich because a lot of ties are made out of silk, right?
Absolutely, and you can get some really cool patterns. Again, these are cut up.
Yes.
If you don't, you can get a larger frame and then just sort of tuck them in behind. But I think it's super cool. And again, it's the hunt of finding these, and again, super inexpensive, and you can create your own sort of pattern. And now it's a personalized piece of artwork for yourself.
Beautiful. All great ideas.
Super easy.
Be sure to follow Steven on his Instagram, his website, Steven Sabados. In the meantime, kids, Have a great back to school.
Absolutely. Happy decorating your dorm.
Yes.
Warm and cool colors.
There you go.